The Hart Tribe. The Hart Tribe, a free-spirited family of 8 with 2 women, Jennifer and Sarah Hart, and their 6 adopted children, was a perfect example of a fun-loving, adventurous family. They raised their own food and homeschooled their children. The family always went on spontaneous road trips and festivals. They were social justice promoting, inspiring parents with kids who had exposure to art, music, and nature. In this picture, Devonte Hart, one of their children, drew national interest in 2014 when the picture of him drowned in tears hugging a police officer during a protest in Portland over a deadly shooting of a black man in Missouri. He was holding a free hug sign. The family of 8 was presumed dead in 2018 after their SUV plunged off of a cliff in California. The incident happened 3 days after child welfare authorities established contact with the parents to investigate the possibility of neglect or abuse in the household as their neighbors were concerned. The suspicions started when Devonte, then 15 years of age, showed up at their neighbor's place asking for food. He asked them to leave him food by the bush for a whole week as his mothers were punishing him by withholding food. One of the girls also showed up at 1:30 a.m. in a blanket saying she was abused. John Edwards Robinson. John Edwards Robinson appeared to be an ideal family man. He had 4 kids who grew up with good exposure in Kansas City. He was a grandfather figure to everyone, but some knew he was a good manipulator and conned vulnerable ladies. He reached out to vulnerable women and led them to their deaths. By June 2000, authorities uncovered several bodies of women in his storage locker kept in barrels. One of the murdered women had a baby who grew up to be a teenager with Robinson's brother. John Robinson in this photo is holding baby Tiffany, whose mother he murdered the day before. He gave the baby to his brother saying she was adopted. His brother and Tiffany didn't find out for 15 years. Chris Cremers and Lisa Ann Froone. These 2 girls saved up for 6 months to go on a trip to Panama as a graduating gift for Froone. They arrived on their spot on 15th of March 2014. Froone and Cremers lived with a local family and planned to do volunteer work for children. They went hiking near the Baru volcano on 1st of April and never returned. Once authorities got the information that they were missing, search parties were started. About 10 weeks later, one backpack was found near a lake that had their clothing, Froone's passport, and both of their phones. They checked the phone and found that they called the distress number several times but couldn't get through to it. The camera had several normal photos and many photos of vague things in the deep jungle and the back of one of their heads. The locals found pelvic bones and a foot inside a shoe and several other bones 2 months later. The DNA test came back positive for the bones belonging to Froone and Cremers. It is still to this day unknown as to what happened to them, and the photos make it very disturbing as nobody can make anything out of them. The Webster Sisters. A chilling selfie of 3 young girls with the train's light on the top of the photograph made authorities rethink several rules on people taking pictures on train tracks. This seemingly normal photo turned tragic as the 3 sisters got hit by the train 3 seconds after taking the picture. 2 died on spot and 1 died in hospital later. For a vehicle traveling over 100 km per hour, people think it is easy to notice, but studies show that you cannot hear the train or a camera will not pick it up until it's too late. These accidents were an eye-opener to start giving people criminal charges who use the train track for aesthetic pictures.